Welcome to another edition of LRMania Reviews, and today I'll be reviewing two shows off of the WWE Network with the same format. First, we'll be reviewing a WWE 24 episode and then an NXT Takeover. On this show, I will be reviewing WWE 24 Women's Evolution, and then I will be reviewing NXT Takeover London. So the first show on the Women's Evolution is basically the three of them, the build up to WrestleMania 32 in Dallas and getting there and how the Women's Evolution came to be. So it's going to be entertaining. I've seen so many documentaries on the Women's Evolution. It was the problem. They had a huge part in the Brooklyn show. And then they do so much with the woman. They really want to let us know how they've evolved, and we get it, and the fans have a huge part of it. But it's getting to the point of a little bit starting to go overboard and starting to shove it down our throats too much. I think that's starting to get a bit of a problem, but I still do enjoy it so far. So they're showing how it's the Women's Evolution. They're showing other women in sports. They show Danica Patrick. They show Ronda Rousey, who has a huge part. I really think Ronda Rousey, I think Ronda Rousey, her success in the UFC is a huge part of the Women's Evolution here, and I think she had a big part. I like at first they show Divas Revolution and then Women's Evolution, because Divas are dead, thankfully. I don't know, they keep showing Stephanie's behind it. It wasn't Stephanie. They're just doing it so Stephanie can look good for PR when she goes and does an ESPN interview, so it can help Stephanie's brand. It's really not Stephanie. It's just really annoying. I don't even want to watch this now. They're doing so much. They're starting to really shove woman down. I really want to hear about women's evolution in wrestling. I don't want to keep hearing about woman this, woman that. This is not what this is about. It's heavily going to be shoved down our throat. It's heavily left wing, showing woman. Not being equals is not what I want to watch wrestling for. I want to watch the woman doing well in the WWE. It's not because they're women. It's because they're a talented woman who can have great matches in NXT, and we want to see them have in WWE. It's not because they're women. Just one of those things. We knew the way they were being treated on the main roster sucked. We knew they can have great matches like the guys on NXT that they were showing at NXT, and we want to see on the main roster. It's not because overall fighting gender equality. It's just, I don't want them to start shoving this down our throat. Oh, this is getting annoying. Now we have to hear Stephanie McMahon she's talking about Ronda Rousey, how wet she is for Ronda, and now she's talking about, I hate saying this, one of the worst people in the history of wrestling, the Fabulous Moolah. And then Mae Young, who's not that great of a person either. I know they're both dead, but they're not women who should be proud of. One of the main reasons women were treated so bad in wrestling for so many years was because of the Fabulous Moolah, her pimping out women. We just pimp out these girls, and it was just terrible. What I mean by that is she would hire women and have them have sex with all the guys, all the male wrestlers, and she would just do all these terrible things, and they're trying to build her as this inspirational woman. I just want to turn it off. She's just a horrible human being. And Mae Young, she would make a living, and what she would do is she would hustle guys. They would do that to married men. They would pick up married men, beat the crap out of them, take all their money, and just make a career out of that shit. And she's just rotten people, and to hear this bullshit. They're making women can't have any. It's like they've been inequality for so many years. It's such bullshit. They're showing Hillary Clinton and they're showing Ellen. It's all this bullshit trying to suck up to ESPN so they can get on their show, or all these left-wing stations. I don't even want to get political. It's just getting on my nerves. I hate this fucking documentary so far. I just want to hear about the fucking woman in NXT. I want to hear about Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley, Becky, even Carmella or Emma or Alexa Bliss or Paige or Summer Rae. I just want to hear what they say. I don't give a fuck about these other women. I want to hear the woman. This is supposed to be about women's wrestling, not a women's evolution documentary. They make it like women have only been famous for 10 years. For the last few years. They pay no attention. They talk about Serena Williams. Serena Williams was a big star. Has been a big star for the last 12 years. She's been a huge star for a long time, okay? Same thing with Maria Sharapova. Same thing with Venus and all those other tennis players. They've all been big stars for many years. You see, WWE, women have been big stars for years. The U.S. women's soccer team has won multiple national championships. They talk about Ronda Rousey. Yeah, okay, she became a big star, but she was a star not like last year. She's been a big star 5 years. All those women MMA fighters. Ronda Rousey, before her was Gina Carano, Cyborg, then you had Miesha Tate and Ronda had their little rivalry, which got that's really that rivalry started the whole women's MMA thing. And you have, Paige Van Zandt and all these other girls, and then, they make it like women have only been famous for the last 5 years. What about women's boxing? What about Layla Ali? All these great women's boxers. Ann Wolfe, she was a beast. It's so fucking pretentious. It's such bullshit with the way they handle it. It's just so fucking bullshit. Now it's starting to get good. They're talking about Trish, Lita, Jacqueline, Victoria. How it took a while for the company to treat them like they're wrestlers, and that's stuff I want to hear about. I don't want to keep hearing about women this. Women have been successful in sports spheres. You've heard of Billie Jean King, for fuck's sake? She's one of the most famous athletes ever. It's just so fucking annoying. One thing I also want to point out, I'm so sick of Stephanie saying Ronda Rousey invented women's MMA. She put it on the map. Yeah, but you know why Ronda Rousey got a chance to fight in women's MMA? Because there's a woman named Gina Carano who is a huge star. She left, and she put women's MMA in the map. She allowed the women to get opportunities in Strikeforce. They wanted her as a big star. They also wanted Chris Cyborg. Alright? It's just annoying. Ronda Rousey put on that. It was Gina Carano gave Ronda Rousey the platform, and Ronda Rousey took it to new levels. It's just annoying. I mean, you don't... And then, all the stuff, you have Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate and all these girls and Holly Holm. Yeah, I mean, she makes like she invented women's MMA. It's bullshit. And stop talking about Serena Williams. It's a revolution. She's been a huge star for 12 years. I remember her and Sharapova facing each other in 2005. I remember seeing her on TV for so many years. It's such bullshit. They keep talking about Trish and Lita. I know a lot of these women, even though they're not allowed to say it, a lot of them have been inspired by women in Japan. I know Sasha Banks is a big fan, but everything's Trish and Lita. And Trish and Lita had a huge part. Look, they did a lot, but, I know a lot of them, I've heard, they like the Japanese woman, but we can't say that, right? They're showing highlights of Lita and Trish, and I still cringe when Lita went for that suicide dive and almost, snapped her body in half. It's still so cringeworthy. Huge match was when the Bella squashed Emma and Paige. I think Nikki pinned Emma in 2 seconds, and then of course that's the whole give Divas a chance, and that was a big part of it. I'm glad they're talking about that a lot. I'm starting to like this now. They talk about the NXT women, talk about Paige and Emma, who have a huge part in their match in a rival, and then they go to Charlotte and Natalya at TakeOver, both big matches that changed the woman. Starting to like how they start talking about the woman who did it, and those are the women in NXT who really changed everything, and they're starting to show up Sasha and Bayley in their match at TakeOver Brooklyn. They talk about Lita and Trish, they can't mention Chyna at all. She was more inspirational. I think she was even more inspirational to win than Lita and Trish. Maybe not more, but almost as much. It's so annoying. Stephanie mentioned her once, but they really should mention her more, and they mentioned the Bella, so they're so inspirational. I guarantee you they never mention AJ Lee. They talk about the WrestleMania 32 pre-show matches. If anyone cared about that match was just there to get them all on the card. Now I like that they're finally giving Sarah Del Rey, Sarah Amato credit. Finally, as she deserves. She has a huge part in training these women. They show the WrestleMania match, which is a huge part. That's bullshit. Sasha should have won. That thing just annoys me. The wrong person won the match. You can tell. They're trying to make like it was this great moment. And I like Charlotte. The wrong person won that match. There was such a huge groan in the stadium when Charlotte won. Whatever. Documentary turned out to be okay. They got good at the end. The first 10 minutes were shit. If you can delete the first 10 minutes and just watch, you enjoy a lot more. But there was a lot of bullshit in it. It got pretty decent at the end, so I would say it was okay. Not great, not their best documentary at all. Probably one of their weaker ones, but it was alright. Now let's talk about the second part of this review, NXT Takeover London. So the show starts off, Triple H welcomes us to the crowd, even though he got his ass kicked by Roman Reigns a couple weeks ago. They have Asuka and Emma as the opening match, and this match should be really good. Wow, that was actually a great match. They had a really, really, really good match. Probably easily the best match of Emma's career. Definitely the best match of Emma's career. Definitely not even close to being the best match of Asuka's career, because she's had all those great matches in Japan. But for Emma, the both the Page matches were good. They weren't great, but this was great, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. Asuka is the best women's wrestler in the company by far, and I know Sasha Banks is great. Bayley's really good. Charlotte's really good. Becky, I mean, she's on a different level. She's had so many years. She's just on a different level than everyone else. That was a really, really, really good match. I would say, you know what, a great women's match. So up next is Enzo and Cass against the Revival. I don't think they were called the Revival. Enzo and Cass are so fucking over. It was crazy how over they were in NXT. And Carmella. Carmella should be with them. I think she's a good addition to them. I don't agree with it. This London crowd is awesome. They're actually singing to them. They're singing to Enzo and Cass. That's how over these guys were. They would do this the night after WrestleMania. This year I remember them singing "This Is Our Own Sheamus." This is what a lot of people who go to WrestleMania are from England. So I guess this is what they do. It's actually really, really entertaining. I just noticed something. Enzo Amore almost got himself knocked out. He nearly got his head trapped under the bottom rope. He's an idiot in the ring sometimes. He almost killed himself back at I think it was Payback last year when he almost got his neck broken. That was crazy. The tag team title match was very, very good. Another very strong match. Really enjoyed it. Man, really wanted Enzo and Cass to win so bad watching it. These guys are so over on NXT. It's crazy. And Revival's really good here. They were great heels. Man, he wanted Enzo. He thought they were going to win. And then just when Wilder pulled off Enzo from the pin, that was fuck. But that match was very, very good. Really enjoyed it. Up next is Baron Corbin and the Apollo. Funniest chant ever, Baron Corbin, I know you are the shits. This crowd is awesome. They're chanting, "Fuck you, Corbin." They hate this guy. Corbin and Cruz actually had a pretty good match. Not a great match. I think the crowd was a little bit disappointed in Corbin won. They hate Corbin. They just, man, he was getting Roman Reigns heat here, and they really like Cruz. Corbin won. The match was pretty good. Not a great match. It was a decent match. Up next is Bayley and Nia Jax. Crowd is obviously very super into Bayley before she's even out yet. Call me shocked. Bayley just pulled out the best match out of Nia Jax's career. They actually had a good match. This was not just good. This wasn't like an okay women's match. This was a good women's match. They had a really smart match. They made Nia look like a monster. They had Bayley use a lot of MMA moves, not a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu moves actually. She used the triangle, she used the guillotine. She won with the guillotine. They had her use shoot moves on a monster. They made Nia Jax look like a monster. This is what Nia Jax really should be, and I think she's terrible. I think she's the worst woman on the main roster besides Dana Brooke, but she shined really here in this match, and of course the crowd adored Bayley. They would rate her. They adored Bayley. They loved her. This is where the whole "Bayley, will you be my girl?" That's where that whole thing started. So this was actually this was a good women's match, and Bayley's really great to get that kind of match out of Nia Jax, and it was a really smart match. I really thought, I knew Bayley would won, but when I first watched, I really thought Nia was gonna win the match at some of the spots. So watching this live must have been great. I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, this is another good match. So main event: Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. The entrance was fucking amazing. You had Finn Balor coming out as Jack the Ripper coming down through the London Street. That was just so cool. That entrance was my favorite Finn Balor entrance ever. It would look so badass. Finn Balor as Jack the Ripper. Holy crap, that was just awesome. Balor and Joe had a great main event, great match. Is it the greatest match in NXT history? No, but it was a great main event. It was a 4-star main event. They really had a great match, and I think, they really capped off the show. Had a great match. Crowd was into it, chanted, "This is wrestling." These two are great. They would go on to have a series of matches, and I think this is probably arguably their best one they had on pay-per-view. They had a match later on Dallas, which I'll review later. Wasn't as good. Cage match was good, but I think this is probably my favorite match they had on a takeover show. These two are great, and the crowd was super into it. And again, I can't explain how much I love Balor's entrance and the Jack the Ripper entrance. So overall, this is another great takeover. This was just another great NXT, and arguably one of their best. You could even make an argument this was the best. I would still say, so far, the ones I've reviewed so far, I'd rank this probably third or fourth. Brooklyn and our Evolution are still my favorites. The Rival was a great show, and this is up there though. This was a great show. He had Joe and Balor was great, Asuka and Emma, which was very good, and the tag match was very good, and then Bayley and Nia was good, and Corbin and Cruz was actually pretty good. So a great show all around. No weak matches. 2 okay matches, 2 very good matches, and 1 great match. This was a great show and another great show for NXT. And by the way, that London crowd was awesome. London elevated the show and the crowd was great.